More colleges and universities are deciding to require students to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 when they arrive on campus in the fall. Brown University in Rhode Island, Rutgers in New Jersey, and closer to home, Northeastern in Boston, just to name a few. Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Here in Western Mass, decisions are still being finalized. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo is getting answers about how this is playing out and whether or not it's even legal.
It's been a roller coaster, kind of just like waiting for the next announcement.
COVID-19 has forced a lot of students to learn through a screen for nearly a year. Students like Jenna Rodriguez at American International College have had enough.
That really puts a damper on, the school year in general.
Many schools are planning a return to in-person learning for the upcoming academic year. UMass Amherst is boasting plans to return to a more recognizable way of learning. School officials posting on their website, quote, "That means an emphasis on face-to-face instruction, full residence halls, and a complement of student events and activities." But does it also mean an emphasis on having a student body fully vaccinated against COVID-19?
It's definitely personal preference, but as a health science student, I definitely support the vaccine.
Western Mass News reached out to several college campuses in the region. The ones you see on your screen are still determining their vaccine policies, but don't currently have a requirement for students to get the COVID-19 shot. Meantime, Northeastern University in Boston made the decision to require their students get vaccinated, saying on their website, in part, they will be expected to arrive on campus in September fully vaccinated unless they have a medical or religious exemption.
And they have been doing this for decades in terms of requiring vaccines.
Attorney Jared Olenoff says just like workplaces, colleges can require students to get a vaccine, whether they're public or private institutions. Like Northeastern's policy outlines, Olenoff says school officials have to offer exemptions for people with medical conditions or sincere religious beliefs that prevent them from getting the shot.
There's nothing illegal about saying that students have to get the vaccine.
Now, a lot of vaccines that somebody might need for school, like measles or meningitis, are given out in a doctor's office where that sort of record keeping is a lot more meticulous. Olenoff is putting colleges on notice that documentation for the COVID-19 vaccine could be much more easily faked.
It's a piece of paper. It is not an official document.
But he warned students that getting caught with fake records could violate their school's policies.
That could result in suspension or expulsion for any kind of lying.
It's a debate that's cropped up in different settings during the COVID-19 pandemic, but for students like Rodriguez, getting the shot means getting the chance to return to learning once more, uninterrupted.
I think that vaccine would ensure that we're safe and that we don't have to close down again.
In Springfield, Audrey Russo, Western Mass News.
New this evening, Springfield Public Schools announcing dates for in-person graduation for the class of 2021.
All public high schools will graduate on different days, all at Springfield Central High School. That's where we find Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane with those details. Lindsay?
Well, Chris and Jordan, this news also comes with a disappointing announcement for the class of 2021. Unfortunately, there will be no proms this year for Springfield students. But on the other hand, the good news is that graduations are planned. High schools will all graduate on different days, all at Central High. And you can see those dates in schools on your screen. For instance, Renaissance planned for June 14th, Putnam June 15th, and Central June 17th. Now, this is the first in-person graduation planned in the city since the pandemic began. High schoolers in the city are still remote at this time, with plans to be back in the building in May, and the last day for high school students is set for June 1st. Live in Springfield, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
The Department of Public Health releasing today's COVID-19 data. They say the state's positivity rate over the last 7 days sits at just under 2.5%. They say there have sadly been 21 new deaths due to the coronavirus, and so far more than 2.5 million Massachusetts residents have received one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. There are approximately 6.8 million people who live in the Bay State. For a full look at those numbers, you can check out our free Western Mass News streaming app.
More options coming for Western Mass residents looking to book their COVID-19 vaccine appointments through the state's online system. After many vaccine frustrations, a major regional site is also being added. By doing so, Governor Charlie Baker looking to make things easier for everyone looking to get a vaccine.
Later this week, the Amherst Northampton Collaborative and the Marshfield Regional Collaborative will be on our pre-registration system, and appointments will be offered there for folks as well.
Along with that, more COVID doses are expected to come. The Bay State will receive a one-time boost in supply this week from the federal government. Help wanted signs are up all around Western Mass. Local restaurants, gas station owners telling us they're short on workers. And they believe unemployment benefits are partly to blame. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis has more.
We're paying people not to work. We need people. This economy would boom if they stopped that. It is totally unnecessary.
Bob Bolduc, the owner of the Pride gas station chains, tells Western Mass News he's competing with unemployment checks to find workers.
We get a large number of people who come in and apply and then say that they didn't get the job and they go collect. And so we're interviewing people so that they can go collect.
Springfield restaurant owner Nadeem Cashew sees the same problem.
Nobody want to work. I think everybody is collecting unemployment, and why work? Why don't we spend the summer on the beach and have some money going in my account every day?
The outdoor patio at Nadeem's downtown Mediterranean Grill is scheduled to open up in mid-April, which will seat 60 people. He needs 12 new employees, 5 of them servers.
We're running TV ad on all local channels. We did Facebook, Instagram, Indeed. We're not even getting any applicants.
Without enough workers, Cashew says he'll have to get creative.
I think that we're going to come up to another full service. You're going to have to start your order yourself. You don't have to. You can opt to start your order, but then the server's going to come in and have to add whatever.
For Western Mass News, I'm Leon Purvis.
It has been another gorgeous day here in our area, a lot less breezy compared to the start of the work week. Temperatures are up to 67, actually down to 67. We were just shy of 70 a few minutes ago. Breezes have shifted out of the east, but have stayed at around 5 to 10 miles an hour throughout the day, making the day feel pretty comfortable. And we do have some slightly higher dew points, so the air mass not quite as dry. Some scattered cloud cover in place, and temperatures won't be dropping quite as far tonight because of those clouds. Right now, we're seeing a lot of middle to upper 60s, a few spots like Blandford in the lower 60s at this hour, but everybody's on the mild side this evening. Breezes are light, staying at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and will eventually become light to calm overnight tonight. It would be a perfect setup to have another cold night, but we do expect more cloud cover to continue building in out of the east, and that's just due to that coastal low sitting a little bit farther away tonight, but close enough to bring us some of those clouds. We've got beautiful Precious today from Tom for your dog walking forecast. It's gorgeous now, and it's going to stay that way throughout the evening. After midnight, we'll drop back into the 40s, and that's where we may stay into early tomorrow morning. So a milder start to your day, and another nice warm up is on tap. I do think we'll see maybe a few patchy clouds in the morning and then breaks of sun for the afternoon, with highs back to the upper 60s and possibly even getting close to 70. We'll take a look at how the rest of the week and weekend is shaping up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Janna, thanks. Today, Senator Markey joined Springfield City Councilors to discuss the biomass waste facility that was almost placed in Springfield. Last week, the Mass Department of Public Health revoked the air permit proposed by Palmer Renewable Energy. Creators intended for the plant to burn wood to create electricity on Page Boulevard. Senator Markey stressed the damage that would have done to the Springfield community, claiming environmental justice has been served.
This plant would cause asthma in your children and bring smog to our streets.
The Springfield City Council has been speaking out against the biomass plant since 2011.
A level 3 sex offender and suspected rapist who was on the Massachusetts State Police Most Wanted list was captured in Florida Tuesday. 40-year-old Jeffrey Cancel Munoz was arrested by Osceola County deputies after a motel desk clerk recognized him from the Most Wanted poster. Munoz was wanted by Deerfield police for aggravated rape, kidnapping, and strangulation in connection with an incident that occurred back in May 2020. He is currently being held in Florida and will be transferred to Massachusetts at a later date.
Today, the president of Massachusetts General Hospital announced he plans to step down after 18 years. 63-year-old Dr. Peter Slavin held the spot at one of the top hospitals in the country. He says he will stay on until the hospital's parent company, Mass General Brigham, selects a successor. As of now, Dr. Slavin did not announce any future plans.